Hey everyone, welcome to Sam Clift Talks. Today I'm going to be looking at the therapy session by NF. Now, for any of you new to the channel, I approach these reactions from a mental health perspective, hopefully sharing a little bit of my own lived experience and insight in the hope that I can give a little bit of something different to these reactions. Now, with that said, let's dive straight in. Starting heavy, the razor blade.
Yeah, I got upstate like a month ago. I was talking to fans and one of them pulled me aside and said we never met, but I swear that you know who I am. I've been through a lot. I don't know how to express it to people. Don't think that I can, but I got that mansion CD on rotation. That's real for me, Nate. You do not understand. It's crazy for me. Kids see me up, city slitting they wrists on the daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta.
Ooh, there's a lot in that to kick off. This is the first time I've ever seen this video and first time I've heard the song as well. So I'm processing the lyrics in real time. They're not on the screen, so I'm relying on the ears. Obsessed fan as a kickoff. Talking about someone having his Mansion album on repeat and really, diving deep into that side of things. The kid next to him, the young boy, the lad, I don't know if that's Nate when he was younger, NF, or whether that is someone else who's kind of in this like ward, what looks like a kind of hospital ward or room with him, and faces, interesting. And the masks as well, that looks like it could be his family, his mum, his dad, maybe his sister. Let's see where this goes. I'll back it up a bit.
City slitting they wrists on the daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta be kidding me. I guess that your definition of violence in mine is something that we look at differently. How do you picture me? I want me to smile. You want me to laugh. You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad. You put on a mask for real.
Interesting, like that mask angle, and they've got that white blank face, so there's no emotion, and that's an interesting one because emotion's something that a lot of people are really struggling with, and him drawing on the smile is what emotion do you want to have, or do you want me to have? Really symbolic there, really powerful, like visually there, seeing that. Let's keep going.
How do you picture me? I want me to smile. You want me to laugh. You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad. You put on a mask for real.
Yeah, there's something about living up to other people's expectations in that as well. You know, how do you want me to be? Do you want me to put on a mask? Do you want me to smile? You know, it's clearly there's something about like what his parents wanting him to do with his life or his career, his music, and then what he wants to do as well, and that struggle that goes on. And so many of us can relate to that, I think. Speaking as a parent, I can say, yeah, you have a view of what your children, what you want your children to do, how you want them to, what direction you want them to go in life, and you're invested in them because they're a part of you. You know, they're an extension of you, and but there's a control and there's a freedom that can go on there. There's a real friction between, as a parent, how much you let go and let your children be their own people, make their own decisions, and how much control and authority almost you want to have over them. It's a struggle. Big topic, actually, in itself. As you can tell, there's a lot that could be unpacked around that. But clearly this is something that's resonating with NF around his parents and what they want from him or what they want him to be who they want him to be and how he reflects on them.
How do you picture me? Want me to smile? You want me to laugh? You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad? Put on a mask for real though. I mean, what you expect from me? I'm trying to do this respectfully. They say that life is a race. I knew my problems would probably catch up eventually. I do my best to be calm. How you gonna write me and tell me you slaughtered my family? That's just a glimpse of the stuff that gets said to me. These are the parts of my life that I'll never see.
And that's a heavy burden to take on, isn't it? It's almost a product of his success and his fame. You know, that you hear a lot about these days about celebrities and people who are famous, how they deal with like death threats and stalking and those kind of aspects of people's lives, and the toll that that can take on you personally, I suppose, is kind of what NF's hinting at here. Like, you know, the way that that can affect your confidence and how you deal with those situations and then keep moving forward. You know, I guess that can make you begin to question, are you going in the right direction in life, and is this what you really want? You know, this is, can he cope with this? Can he deal with this? Wow.
That's just a glimpse of the stuff that gets said to me. These are the parts of my life that I'll never see. I am aware it's aggressive. I am not here for acceptance. I don't know what you expected, but what you expect when you walk in a therapy session. Therapy session.
I think that young lad is NF when he was younger, and I wonder if he started having therapy when he was younger as well, and he's been through therapy through his life for a long period. I don't know. If you know, please let us know in the comments, because I haven't done a deep dive into NF's background, so this is what I'm picking up out of this this video. And yeah, it's really interesting that when he sat on the chairs and he's talking to himself. If you notice, the therapist is him without the baseball cap. That's an interesting one as well. Like that creates that sense of an echo chamber, and you're talking to yourself, which you do so much. You know, that's when you're dealing with anxiety and that sense of loneliness and sometimes loss or grief or trauma. You know, you internalize so much, and you conceptualize what's going on, and you obsess, and you get frustrated, but it's just you in your mind, and it's tough going. And yeah, I'm really getting that sense of conflict in this from an F. All right, let's keep going.
Looked me in the face and told me her life's full of drama. Said her dad is abusive, apparently he likes to beat on her mama. I got so angry inside, I wanted to tell her to give me his number. But what you gonna do with it, right? You gonna hit him up, then they'll start hitting her harder, that's real. These kids, they come to my shows with tears in their eyes. Imagine someone looking at you and saying your music's the reason that they're alive. Sometimes I don't know how to handle it. This type of life isn't glamorous. This ain't an act for the cameras. You see me walk on these stages, but have no idea what I'm dealing with after. And I put it all in the open. This is the way that I cope with all my emotion. I'm taking pictures with thousands of people, but honestly, I feel like nobody knows me.
I think producing songs like this that are so heavy in their topic and so real in how they relate to people and real life situations, you know, he's really putting on a pedestal some heavy topics here which just don't get enough in the time in the spotlight and taken seriously enough. So he's really pushing this, and you know, hats off to him for doing it, because there needs to be more people out there talking about these kind of subject matters. But I can really see as well, like what he's getting at here, he's having people turning up to his concerts and his live shows who are reflecting back what some of his songs are about, and are going through these kind of traumas and these bad experiences in life themselves, and then they're looking on NF as that kind of, I don't know, I guess that kind of savior, like that person who can help guide or direct them or help them to understand more, like, because they can relate, and I'm getting that this is really autobiographical from NF. Like, so much of his music, and not just this song, but his music, seems to be about his own experiences and his own life. And yeah, I absolutely love that about these songs, because there's nothing more real than your experiences. And we all share, for better or worse, we all share similar experiences in life a lot of the time. Not always at the same point in time, but we can connect on this kind of level and go, yeah, I hear you, I see you with what you're going through here, and I can see how his music is so relatable to so many people. But again, it's another aspect for NF of his music, and he's got people coming up to him that are dealing with some real life situations here. And, he's already mentioned earlier the fact that, he's getting threats and that kind of thing. And now he's, the other side of it is there are people that are kind of leaning on him, kind of emotionally and mentally. And it's a heavy toll, I guess, isn't it? And let's keep going, because I'm sure NF's going to unravel a little bit more of what he's been dealing with here.
I'm taking pictures with thousands of people, but honestly, I feel like nobody knows me. I'm trying to deal with the pressure. I'm trying to deal with the pressure. How you gonna tell me my music does not have a message when I'm looking out at this crowd full of people I know are affected? I got some things in my life I know I should let them go. Let me jot it down. Let me take a mental note. I put it all on this microphone. Think about that for a minute. What is the point of this song I'm just venting? But what you expect from a therapy session? Therapy session. Therapy session. What you think about me? That doesn't worry me. I know I handle some things immaturely. I know that I need to grow in maturity. I ain't gonna walk on these stages in front of these people and act like I live my life perfectly. That doesn't work for me. Christian is not the definition of what perfect means. Woo! I ain't the type to be quiet. I ain't gonna sit here in silence if I wouldn't say what I say to your face. And I promise you I wouldn't say it in private. I am not lying. People go off on my page and I'm trying to quit the replying, but this is ridiculous. I'm passionate, man. I really mean what I'm writing. Yeah, I need to keep it 100. Okay, I'll keep it 100. I see a whole lot of talking on socials, but honestly, I don't see nothing in public. I kinda love it, yeah. Why don't you write us some happy raps? That would be awesome. All of your music is moody and dark, nay. Don't get me started. You wanna know what it's like if you met me in person? Listen to my verses. This music is not just for people who sit in the pews and pray at the churches. Nah, I've been rejected. I don't expect everyone to respect it. I don't expect you to get my perspective, but what you expect from a therapy session? I mean, I think sometimes people, they confuse what I'm doing. I write about life. I write about things that I'm actually dealing with. Something that I'm actually experiencing. This is real for me. Like, this is something that personally helps me as well. I'm not confused about who gave me the gift. God gave me the gift and he gave me the ability to do this, and he also gave me this as an outlet. And that's what music is for me. When I feel something, whether it's anger, it's a passion about something, a frustration, like, this is where I go. That's the whole NF real music thing, man. This is real for me. I need this. This is a therapy for me.
Yeah, I had that in my mind. I was thinking, the song's called Therapy Session. the video is like he's in a therapy session, but it's that creative outlet. Like his music is his therapy. Like he's channeling his experiences and his frustrations, his torment, his worries, his anxiety, his like ability to cope in life. He's throwing that into his music, and like strong, strong stuff. You know, it's very real. It makes what he does very raw, and I think pretty unique. He's got a pretty unique style and approach. You know, we could all say like, oh, other people could copy that, but this is his experience. This is his life. You know, and that creative outlet is something that always gets um, it gets brought up when people are dealing with tough times, or they don't have any time for themselves, or they're just giving to other people all the time. And it's that whole thing of like finding time for you and exploring interests and channeling hobbies and that kind of stuff. But it's also like the creative outlet allows you to use an element of your brain and give a sense of freedom, and you can outpour quite easily when you're drawing, when you're dancing, when you're singing, when you're writing, you know, all that and many other kind of outlets. Like it's a mechanism. It allows you to do that. And yeah, it's clearly like music and rap is that for NF. So yeah, it's uh, it's a really interesting song list. Like I feel like from the few that I've listened to so far, like this is probably the most relatable in a lot of ways for me, and that kind of struggle and that need to like progress and process your experiences in your life is really important, especially as you get older. Like the more history you've got, usually the more baggage you have, and the more your life changes as you get older. There's a lot more to kind of contend with. And I just want to touch on as well, like he did mention the fact that he'd been having like haters online on social media as well. Again, it just links back to those different avenues I mentioned before of how the public and his audience are seeing NF and relating to him and connecting with him, like for better or for worse. You know, he's got people that are like doing the emotional outpouring and like relating to him, and then he's also got people that are like slagging him off and giving him a hard time, let's say, online, and you know, having to like cope with that. But like you said, people are not doing that. They're not coming up to him and saying that to his face. It's just behind your back. And you know, I imagine he's like developed a tough skin to some of that as part of being in the music industry, you know, and life experience as well. But yeah, clearly, like I know this song goes back a way, a good few years, so it's one of his perhaps earlier songs, and you know, he's certainly tackling him dealing with his rising fame and what's involved with being in the music industry and how he's coping with that and how it's affected his outlook on life and his mental health. So it's yeah, really great to see this. So thank you to those of you that have recommended I check this one out. I've really enjoyed diving into this one. If there are other NF songs you think I should take a look at, especially from a mental health lens, which I know NF has a big catalogue around that, I do realise that. But yeah, let me know in the comments and I'll hopefully check them out. All right, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. All right, take care.